Hello there. Hello, everybody. Turn it Testing. Okay, it's good. All right. Can I have your attention, please? All right. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see all of you here tonight. After these years of remote, whatever you want to call it, we're finally all together in the same room, and I think we should give ourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for coming. Really, thank you for coming. Yo, I'm just saying, it's been so long. The Elks Club, which my kids make fun of me, said, "Dad, what's with the Elks Club? The Elks Club." I love this place. And I can't think of a better place for us to all get together and celebrate the scholarship, to celebrate being together for a change. As I said, after all this time, it's been great. I see my neighbors are from across the street. They threw me out of Chatham in 2018. I'm still back. I'm still in the neighborhood. And I've got good news. Next year, next year, Rob and my kids said, I am relieved of command. I'm out. So they're going to do a different thing. But the good news is, I am still going to have a party here in December for us. Right. And that's going to be it. And you know what? As my generation ages up and we're like moving around, and I want to go to Florida, I can't afford it, but we all move where we're going to move. It's good to be able to come back home. And I feel like this is home, and I see my family here, I see my friends here. And Susan would be happy to see you all here. It's just it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I want to thank my daughter Eve, who really, and this is my grandson, Sean. Say hello. Just say hello to everybody. Nothing. And this is my little gorgeous granddaughter, Sally. What? All right, so they're going to be silly. But look how gorgeous they are. Okay. What? All right, you're out. You're out. So, without further ado, and anyway, I wanted to thank, but I have to thank Evie. Evie, thank you. Thank you, Evie. You did a fantastic job. And I have to thank, where's the queen of the Elks Club? Is she available? Where's Lucy? Is she here? Lucy, she said, wait a minute, you got no candles, you have no potato chips. She added and layered on and just did a great job for us, which I really appreciate. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Mark Gerber. I'll say one very quick thing about the scholarship. Alex is a big brother, and he has a kid that he found somehow. And through Rich Sealouse and through some other things, we got this kid into St. Peter's Prep, which is in Jersey City. And the kid is just doing fantastic after being in a really tough environment in Union City. So our mission is sort of one kid at a time, one kid a year, help that kid along. And I think we're doing that, and we're doing it through you, and we really thank you. And so enough of that. So here's the deal. Mark Gerber, wherever he is, where's Mark Gerber? Mark is going to be the real MC as opposed to me. And Mark is the number one. Mark has decided to be shy. Where's Mark? Mark Gerber! Who is, let me say, before I let you know, he's got some credentials, is the number one. Give me the credentials.
Just the number one, believe it.
Oh, the number one. So I give you Mark Gerber. Thanks for all coming. I want you guys to hang out. Stay late. Enjoy the food. And
give it up for David Schmidt, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it. David Schmidt made this happen. We're here in person. My thing was I had the number one album on iTunes. You guys know I had the number one comedy album on iTunes. And I knew that if I worked hard, got the number one album on iTunes, that one day I'd be performing for 60 people in a VFW hall in Summit, New Jersey. So thank you for making that happen. Who was with us on Zoom for the last couple of years? Anybody? A lot of people. Wow, so everyone came out. We have a couple people joining us remotely. The people who are still masking outside, they're joining us remotely. This guy with his blazers in person. You got to be in person with that blazer, sir. That is nice. I like that. I've seen the ugly sweater, but I haven't seen the ugly blazer yet. You're doing it. No, it looks great. It looks great.
Gave you some good material.
It looks great. We are here in person, which is because we did the last two in Zoom, which was not. It was fun, but this is better, right? Although I know some of you are pissed off that the game was turned off, but look, we're gonna make up for it. I just had my birthday, so I just turned 45 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I do look a lot younger. Thank you for thinking that. I appreciate that. I had the issue. My last two birthdays I spent in quarantine, and I wasn't able to celebrate until this birthday. And my last two birthdays, my friends were like, "Hey, Mark, do you want to do Zoom for your birthday?" why don't we just do Zoom for your birthday? I was like, no, you know what? Let's not. All right? Let's just do Venmo. All right? PayPal, you know. Let's keep it simple. But I'm glad we're in person here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Rob, I didn't know your kids were coming, by the way.
Of course.
Because, you know, now I have to do only my clean material, which is like 2 jokes. No? Corrupt them?
He just said penis. He just said penis.
He just said penis, and this guy in the weird sweater's telling me that? I don't know how I feel about this. Pointing at a child and saying penis in that blazer, I don't know. I don't know about, you're going to be within 200 feet of a school tomorrow after that. How you doing? You didn't say that? What did you say?
I have no idea.
He has no idea. That's what I used to say after I said penis, too. So, how old are you? 6. You have a girlfriend? No girlfriend? Good-looking guy. You're going to get one. No? Are you interested in girls?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're not at all like your father was when he was 6, I'll tell you that. It is nice to be here, though, in person. And how'd you guys enjoy the food? Yeah. Nice sandwiches and stuff like that. I ate as soon as I got here because I don't cook. I'm one of these guys that doesn't cook. One of my friends suggested I try this thing called Blue Apron. Have you guys heard of that? Yeah. Blue Apron, Hello Fresh, you know these things? Yeah. Do you guys do it? Anybody try it? Yeah. Tried it? What'd you think?
It's harder than it looks.
Harder than it looks, yeah. You know how when your friends like something, they try and sell it to you for some reason? Even if they're not making any money off it, whether it's a TV show, whatever it is. My friend made this big pitch for me to try Blue Apron. He's like, dude, you gotta try Blue Apron. It's awesome. He said, they send you the food, and all you gotta do is cook it. It's amazing. And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, you know something? I can one-up this guy. I said, dude, if you like that, you gotta try delivery. Because they send you the food, and all you gotta do is eat it. It's next level stuff. All right, so we're gonna do a dirty joke. Is that all right? All right. It's not that dirty. Speaking of food, I went out on a date with a foodie. Do we have any foodies here? Foodies, big in New Jersey, right? Yeah. Anybody not know what a foodie is? You don't know what a foodie is? Oh, you know what it is. These people, they know where the best restaurants are. You know, they know weird stuff like when apricots are in season, you know, they're kind of like food fetishes. So I tried to impress her. I took her to my favorite restaurant. After the meal was over, I said, what'd you think? She said, honestly, Mark, I've had better. She said, but you should know that I am a foodie, and I happen to have a very discerning palate, so please don't blame this on yourself. Yeah, it was the most obnoxious thing a woman's ever said to me on a date. Did end up sleeping with me, though. Cover your ears. Sleeping with me, meaning we shared a bed that night. It was a twin bed, but we shared a bed. After the, cover your ears, after the sex, she was like, Mark, was that good for you? Uh-oh, this guy gets it. And that's exactly how I felt. I was like, listen, I want to be as upfront with you as you were with me back at the restaurant. I said, honestly, I have had better. I said, but you need to know that I am a fucky. And I happen to have a very discerning penis. So when they say I said penis, came full circle. I didn't say you said it. I said I said it. Oh, yeah. He'll be telling that joke tomorrow, though, so now he'll say it. I had a big year. I bought my first house. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you. It's up in the northern Catskills, okay? It's on wheels, but it's, you know, it's fine. Anybody familiar with the northern Catskills? Catskills? You know it? It's 2 hours north of the city, but you might as well be in South Alabama, you know? My neighbor had a Confederate flag. Finally, I met him. I was like, why do you have this Confederate flag, Jim? Where are you from? He's like, I'm from the South Shore of Long Island. So it kind of checks out. He's like, you do any hunting? I was like, I had to say something. I was like, actually, yes, I have. In the fall of 2017, I went truffle hunting in the Piedmont region of Italy. He's like, no, I'm asking you, have you ever killed a deer? I said, no, but I did hit a deer with my car. Now I drive a Fiat, so we ended up riding the deer home. But I did hit a deer with my car. It's just I don't fit in up there. I'm like Mountain Jew, you know. This is not the old Jewish Catskills that you might have seen in Mrs. Maisel. You know, this is the we've never met a Jew Catskills where I'm living. Been doing some shopping for the house, shopping online. I had this weird experience. Has this ever happened to you guys with surveillance when you're shopping online? I was looking for planters. Now you know I never did any hunting because there's no hunters that shop for planters online, right? I was shopping for planters, and later that night I got an email that said, you might want to take another look at this planter. Has that happened to you guys yet? It's weird, right? Because I wasn't logged in or anything. It's just they somehow got me, you know? And it got me thinking, like, can you imagine that happening on, like, a dating site? You know, you're swiping left on guys all day. No, you know? And then later that night you get an email. You know, you might want to take another look at Mark. All right, sure, he's 5'8", which means he's 5'6", which means he's 5'5.5". But listen, you know, he's got a house in the Catskills. All right, it's not the Hamptons, but you know, you're 37, you want kids. You know, there are some things that I think dating sites could take from shopping sites that could work. Like, how about this? There's only one Mark left, and 3 people have him in their cart. That could work, right? Anybody never done the dating apps? I'm looking for the people who are I'm not going to look at the people who are aged out. Anybody never tried the apps? Show of hands. Some people never did it. A lot of you probably, never did it. It's basically the clearance rack of human beings. It's basically what it is. You're swiping, you know, through crap all day until you finally find something that you think looks decent. And then you take it home and you realize, like, one arm is longer than the other, you know? Clearance rack. I did meet my wife on an app, though. I met her on an app for people in their 40s. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called Red Flag. Met her on Red Flag. We did fall in love. Which is pretty incredible. I didn't think that happened in your 40s. You know, I thought that falling in love was a thing for your 20s. You know, I thought at this point it was going to be all, you know, test tubes and contracts and stuff. But we fell in that kind of PDA in love, you know, like making out in public. Nobody wants to see that, right? Like, nobody wants to see a couple in love, unless it's you, right? Like, I bet in love is the least search porn term of all time. Right? Nobody wants to see it. You know what people want to see? I looked it up. You guys know what the #1 porn search is? Rough sex. Did someone say it? No, she was talking to someone over there. Totally unrelated. She definitely did not just say rough sex, but she doesn't even know I'm talking to her. It's amazing. Rough sex, the #1 search term. I feel like at 45, I'm aged out of rough sex at this point, you know? Like, you don't have to hit me. I'm already in pain. You don't have to choke me. I already can't breathe. You don't have to pull my hair. It's already falling out. That's what I'm saying. Gets harder to stay in shape as you get older, though. You know, I see a lot of guys my age and upwards of my age here. I told my friend who's 55 that I was feeling old. He didn't want to hear it. He's like, listen, Mark, I'm 55. You're 45. Don't complain to me about aging. And it got me thinking, like, does that happen all throughout the lifespan? You know? Like, what if you're 85 and you're living in assisted living or something, you know? And you tell your friend who's 95 that you're feeling old. Does he still give you shit at that point? Probably not, right? Probably says something like, I don't know, where am I and who the hell are you? I do this thing every milestone birthday. I turned 45, and I look back on myself at 35 and thought, God, I was such an idiot. And I remember when I was 35, I looked back on myself at 25 and thought, God, I was such an idiot. At this point, I think that means that I'm just an idiot, but it takes me 10 years to realize it, you know? Which actually makes me more of an idiot. Speaking of bellies, my wife is pregnant. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's pregnant. She likes it when I say we're pregnant. Do you guys do that? You guys know that whole thing now? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? You know that. How do you guys feel about the we're pregnant? I'm not comfortable with it. I think it's weird, you know? But I thought, but then again, I thought about it. I'm like, wait a second, you know, she makes a lot more money than me. She's from a lot more money than me. And I definitely want to be able to say that we're rich. So fine, you know, we're pregnant. But we're old, you know, she's 41, I'm 45. You know, like I don't know how we're going to pay for college and assisted living at the same time. It's going to be tough, you know. We had a big wedding. Not that big, though. I went to one wedding last summer, 350 people. Yeah. My invitation was addressed to Mark Gerber or current resident. That's too big, you know. And they're already separated on their way to getting divorced. They didn't even last one full year after this. And here's my thing with this wedding. They had an engagement party, a bridal shower, you know, bachelor party, bachelorette party. And here's the thing, it was also a destination wedding. Yeah. I think after all that, like, you should have to stay married for at least 10 years, right? 20 years. Because people invested a lot of time and a lot of money into this relationship, right? Like, I'm serious. I think that this should be enforced by law and punishable with jail time in the country where the destination wedding was, which in this case, by the way, was Mexico. You know what they're going to say, right? We don't want to go. Yeah, well, guess what? Neither did we. You're going to serve out your marriage. Before I got married, I was dating a married woman, which isn't quite the same. I'm not proud of it, but I did learn some valuable lessons from it. I learned that when you're dating a married person, your friends really worry about you, right? They get all up in arms. It's wild. Like, if, for example, if you're a woman and you're dating a married man, your girlfriends will constantly warn you. They'll say, girl, be careful, all right? Because he is never going to leave her for you, girl. It's never going to happen. They're looking out for you. I learned that if you're a man and you're dating a married woman, your guy friends, they also worry. And they'll warn you. They'll say, dude, be careful, all right? Because she might leave him for you. And that's your problem. All right, my new stuff is working. I like it. You guys are awesome. You guys are a lot of fun. So who is this first time at the Susan Engel Charity Foundation benefit show? Anybody's first time? You're here? Haven't you taken your coat off yet, ma'am? You gonna stay? You gonna stick it out? Take it off. All right. Well, look, you're sitting in the front. You got your undivided attention. That's all which is kind of a thing of the past, undivided attention. You guys are pretty good for a crowd of half the people standing. This is really impressive because it's an older crowd. You guys haven't lost your ability to focus. That's why. The kids, look at him. He's not even looking at the show anymore. That's because, I know, my jokes suck. That's why. I get it. It's not your fault. I appreciate that. And I'm someone with ADHD, so for me, undivided attention is also challenging, you know? Anybody with ADHD in here? I'm looking for the people that aren't paying attention. A lot of people think ADHD is just an excuse to be an asshole, right? Like, it's not a real thing, you know? And I understand because I know how my ADHD manifests, and I'm an extrovert with ADHD, which is even worse because I initiate. You know, like I'll approach you at a party, ask you how your weekend was, and then walk away while you're telling me. You know, it's terrible for dating ADHD. I remember I was out on a date with this woman. Oh, look at Rob here in the front. What's up, Rob? How you doing?
You're running out of material. I can bring you some.
Oh, yeah, I could roast you the whole rest of the show, but, you know, it's not a nice thing to do. I know too much personal stuff. It wouldn't be fair. I went on a date with a woman, and during the date, she told me that her father died, which very sad, but because I wasn't paying attention, because I have ADHD, I thought that she said her phone died. So then my response was so inappropriate. I was like, oh, that is so annoying. I was like, listen, I want you to know you can always borrow mine if you need one. I don't want to leave you lost out here. So your first time at the Susan Engel benefit. Anybody else? Everybody else was with us on Zoom. There's someone in the back, way in the back, raising their hand. All right. Nice to have you too. Oh, this guy too. He was afraid to raise his hand. All right. Handsome couple in the back. Thank you. This is definitely not your first one, David. What's that? First one. Okay. Well, good to have you. Nice to meet you, sir. Well, seriously, this is a really, really great cause, as you know. David spoke to that already. And, We're having a really good time, and I hope you guys are having a good time too. I brought a headlining comic from the city. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but if not, after this, you're going to look up all his stuff. He's fantastic. You may have seen him on The Late Show. You may have seen him on The Tonight Show. You may have seen him on Conan. He's done them all. Good friend of mine, extremely funny guy. You're going to love him. How about a big warm welcome and round of applause for the very funny Nathan McIntosh, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it.
Yeah, hi everybody, hi. Keep it going for Mark, everybody. Keep it going for Mark. Keep it going for the people on at home. On their couch. They're warm. They're sitting in their own house with the temperature, whatever they want it to be. Are you really this cold? You're allowed to be. Because I got to tell you, I'm also pretty cold myself. I'm also never, I'll just say it now, I've never performed in a Elks Lodge. I've never been in one, and I'll say I didn't think we were going to get in, actually. The man downstairs is very serious about who gets in and who does not get in. We open the door, he goes, "What do you want?" I'm like, what do you mean, what do we want? We're here for the Elks Lodge. He goes, "For what?" I was like, "We're doing a show, I guess?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's on the second floor." And then just kind of glared at us. Is this like this is a hard place to get into? It is. I saw a guest list. I don't know what happens here, is really what I'm trying to say. And I'm kind of freaked out, you know? I'm a little scared. There's a lot of cheese, not a lot of seats. I don't know what happens here. But I am happy to be here. This is great. I also, I know they're over there, but I'll try not to swear. I know that people don't care, but look at that kid. He's so cute. 6 years old. He doesn't need to hear me swearing in a bar. Exact place, like, you want me to swear? Yeah, but is he your kid?
No.
Exactly. See, when it's not your kid, everybody's like, "Do what you want!" And then this kid grows up and goes to therapy at 15, like, I was in an Elks Lodge, I didn't know if I was going to get in. And some guy just kept swearing. I didn't know. Oh God, I have to stay here too for the TV people. This is I have to be in this box. Oh, the water, thanks. Oh, are you sure? You know, I wouldn't have assumed it was open until you said it's not been opened. As soon as you said it's not been opened, I'm like, this guy opened it. Are you the mayor of this place, by the way? You seem like an important man here, you know? You have a sweater vest and then this jacket. I feel like you own this place. When this guy's not downstairs, you're the one that's down there being like, "No!" Are you an important man in the building? What? No, you're just a guy? Okay, yes he is. All right, yes he is. Yeah. Nobody gotta lie to me. I don't know. I'm just asking if you are, but he is. I guess. Okay, cool. He's an important man.
So, is it open or not?
I don't know. I started taking the label off first, like a crazy person, as if somebody's gonna take it from me. It's not. I guess it's not. It's not opened. Thanks, man. See, you're an important dude. You got closed bottles of water just to give away to people. Does everybody also in here? Does everybody know each other?
Yeah. We all know each other.
We all know each other. Okay, cool. That's also the vibe I'm getting. Like I've crashed a family dinner, and everybody's looking at each other. Who is this guy? Why is he? Either way, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have kids. Do you have kids? Are these your kids?
My kids.
Never mind. I was going to ask you a follow-up question, but if those are your kids, I can't. I was going to ask kids. I don't know if I'm going to have kids. I don't think I'm ready. My mom has also called me and told me not to, which is a strange conversation to have with your mom. My mom has called me and like, "Don't have kids. They ruin your life." I'm like, do you know who you're talking to right now? One of the ones that you made. My mom always talked to me that way too, so I don't know how to talk to kids. You know how we're supposed to talk to kids? Like we all live in some kind of magical forest. A little kid walks around, you're supposed to be like, "Well, hello, child. How was your day? I have bills due." I don't know how to do that. Because my mom never talked to me like a kid. My mom talked to me like a roommate. I'd come out of my room, my mom be standing there with a cigarette in her mouth, just like, "We don't have any money." The phone's getting shut off. I'm like, "I'm 4. I don't make any calls." I gotta decide what I'm gonna do. Were you ready to have kids when you did? No. You're allowed to say it. He's right there, though, you know? Keep it down a little bit. I don't think anybody, a lot of my, I'm losing a lot of friends right now to babies. A lot of my friends are having I should say I'm losing city friends. I'm getting all my small town friends back because all their kids are now 18. Every single person in a small town has a kid like as soon as they can. And it kind of does make sense, you know, that people in small towns have kids very young because I feel in a small town there's nothing to do. People get bored, you know, they wake up one day and look at each other, they go, look, I don't know. Do you want to go see the trees again? Man, we've already seen the trees, okay? We counted them, we measured them. Well, we can make new people and show them the trees. They do. They crazy tiny little people. I don't know if I'm going to have kids. It does seem rough. It seems very rough to have children. A lot of my friends, I don't think they're taking it seriously, you know, because everybody says they're having a baby. That's how they describe it, as if that's all it's ever going to be. Babies grow up. I really wish people said they were having a future adult, because one day it's a baby, and the next day it's a guy named Doug. And Doug is staying in your kitchen drinking your juice, and he wants money. And you have to stand there like, what'd you do with the money I gave you, Doug? Because that's the part that seems like the worst to me. Having a baby, okay, a kid, I don't want an adult. That's the thing I don't want out there. A full-grown person out there that has a problem with me. I don't want that. Some taxpayer that when they stop at a red, they're like, Dad! I don't want that. Because it seems like when you make a kid, you're basically making a future enemy. No matter how good you treat this person, one day they're going to grow up and be like, I got a lot of problems, and they start with you and blame you for everything in their life. You're just sitting there watching a baseball game and they kick in the door like, remember when I was 8? Yeah, I do, man. You want to get over it? A lot of people get left in the park. I don't, it just feels like it's a rough time to having a kid. Do you have kids? Yeah. Would you recommend? You're also are you also an important person in here? I don't want to bother any of the people that seem like they buy and sell everybody that comes up these stairs. This man looks like the mayor, and you look like the treasurer. You look like a lady who knows about money, whether it's in this room or not. I like it. I also just like, either way, I just find, all I was going to ask is if you would. Sure. Yeah, we'll just start playing the music. No, that's okay. No, keep it going. This reminds me exactly when my mom would drop me off at a bar and try to find a dad for me. Okay, that's a real thing. I really grew up in places like that. Not VFWs on the second floor. All the bars I went to were on the first floor. My mom was like, I'm going to come home with a dad. I'm like, okay, cool. And that never happened. So who taught me how to play catch? Gravity. That's who taught me. I threw the ball in the air and came back down and closed my hand, you know? Some people get really sad when I talk about not having a dad. And some people have said that, how'd you learn how to play catch? It's not a hard game to learn, you know? It's not like me not having a dad, you throw something at me, it just hits me in the chest. You go to throw some keys, I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? You know I didn't have a dad, set them down, and I'll go and get them. Either way, just at periodic times, if you could just jack that on, that'd be great. Free! I'd love to hear Tom Petty every 10 minutes. Well, these people have no idea what's going on. The people at home, oh wow, okay, I really have a radius that I'm allowed to stand in. Ooh, it's right here. I move around a decent amount, you know. I guess I'll calm down too. I can't. Either way, I was going to ask you if you would recommend having kids. Definitely. Are they here?
Yes.
There you go, yeah. If they weren't here, I feel you'd have a different reaction. And not because of them, just because, you know what I mean? I don't know, it seems very rough. Like, this is what I think about having a kid. You make a kid, right? You make a small person. This is your daughter, not your daughter. Okay. You pointed to this man? Because I'm not trying to be rude. I think this man is older than you.
No, she's back there.
She's back there. Okay, cool. Anyways, I feel she's at the bar. Yes, where every daughter should be. In a VFW, I think, or Elks Lodge. You know when I leave here, I'm going to Google Elks Lodge and figure out what you guys do. I don't know if it's a cult in Summit, New Jersey. I don't know what happens here. If you guys... These kids right now are watching indoctrination videos on their phones. Pray to the leader. It's Tom Petty. It feels rough to have a kid, right? Just because on the outside, not having a kid, you make a small person, right? You do everything for them. You put their shoes on, you feed them. One day, they can grow up to tell you off. That's got to be an insane day as a parent, you know? You're feeding them. They're like, screw you, screw me. Do you know how many times I could have let you die? Are you serious? I could have left you in the park, in the mall. There's an entire week of your life where your head can't do this. I got to stand there. Make sure you don't snap your own neck. Screw me. It must be so hard in that moment as a parent not to just want to rock his kid in the eyes, you know? Not just break their little glasses that you paid for. But you can't. Thank God they didn't hear any of that, you know? But you can't, right? You can't. You cannot hit a kid. You can't. Now you can't even really discipline a kid in public at all without some people getting upset. You can't grab your kid in public. Can't grab. If your kid is going to run into traffic, let him go. Because that's easier to deal with than some stranger seeing that and being like, you didn't have to grab him that hard. He's just a special little man. You can't talk loud to your own kid in public, right? Without some strangers getting upset. That's why you see some parents out there that don't even know what to do anymore. Some kids like, you're a loser, mom, and some mom just confused, standing there like, well, that might be true. But if you would just lower your voice. Trade secret, I never used the word loser there, I swear, but I looked over and I saw two little cute faces under a Christmas tree and decided I can't go to hell this year. Either way, it seems, I don't know if I'm going to have kids. And I'm not saying people should be able to hit kids, by the way. I know there's people in here that remember a time where you could. Did you hit your kids? Not even one time?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Somehow they know you, and yes, you did. You hit your friends? No, actually, you know what? I'm looking at you now in the face when you smile. You look like a man that didn't hit his kids. Yeah, no problem. How'd your kids turn out? They all right? They hit you. Wow, New Jersey's a wild town. If you don't hit your kids, they'll grow up to hit you. That should be on the signs up there. Welcome to New Jersey. Beat your kids before they beat you. I'm not saying you should be able to hit your kids, but it is crazy how far the other way it's gone, right? People really baby their kids. I saw this family in New York getting on the train with their son, right? And as they're getting on the train, the son pulls back. And he's like, why do we gotta go on the train? And instead of this family just picking their kid up and bringing him on the train, they stop in the doorway, decide this is the time to explain train to their son. And they're pleading with him, too. They're scared of him. They're like, the reason we have to get on the train is because the train is going uptown. And we are also going uptown. I would not be able to do that, okay? If my kid was like, why do we get on the train? I'd be like, ugh, you don't. And I have to get on the train. And just leave a small child. I'd love to see their little face like, ugh, as we speed away. And it sounds harsh, right? But if you left a small child on a train platform by themselves, they're going to grow up to be a strong person. Because they got to figure out a lot of stuff right there, you know? But if you baby your kid like, this is the train, and we're getting on the train, your kid could grow up and be like, I'm allergic to bread. Because is it not a little weird? These kids aren't allergic to bread, are they? I didn't bring up a whole weird thing. Are there a lot of people in here whose kids have allergies? They do? Yeah, bread? Is bread one of them? Oh, no, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the lady with the beads. Your kids don't have allergies. They do. Oh, I apologize. How would I know? Do I got to get everybody's medical records before I come up here? Let me check here. Yeah, what are they allergic to?
Oh, everything. They should have been in a bubble.
Everything. Everything but bread. You might have the strongest kids in America. Everything but bread. Well, anyways, it seems like it's weird. Should I stop talking about kids? Beat him up. My God, sir. This is the Elks Lodge, for God's sake. Some gym class outside. You guys have kids as well? One? Would you recommend it? He's a good kid? It's not really an answer, but... Okay. I'm going to stop talking to people, I think. Every time I try, somebody just looks at me scared. Like, man, just keep talking. Just keep yelling your stuff. You also look like a very important person in this building. Am I wrong?
Yes.
I am wrong. Okay. All right. I'm bad at supporting the important people. I mean, this guy looks like it. You definitely do. And I mean, come on, lady. If you don't own this place, I don't know who does. You know, if you're not running for something, for City Council of Summit, You're very, you know what I mean, well dressed. But this is also, am I crazy? Look, okay, I'll move on. Have I lived long enough to see, is every mom just a hot person now? Every mom is just a hot woman now, you know what I mean? Every mom is like, their hair's done, their nails are done, they got a hat that Pharrell would wear. I don't know how long everybody's lived here. Moms didn't always look like this, you know? Moms used to look like cigarettes. Moms used to roll out of the house, mustard on their face, one sock on. You're like, what happened to that lady? She's a 27-year-old woman. It looks like she survived a building collapse. And now every mom is like this hot, in-shape person. There's some women I see that are in such good shape. I'm like, there's no way you birthed this baby. You didn't go to a hospital. You were deadlifting at the gym and it shot out of your wall. There's moms that have cores 2 weeks after having a baby. How does that even make sense? Your baby must have been inside your body like, Mom, please. I can't breathe, Mom. Stop doing Pilates, for God's sake. You're a hot mom, is what I'm trying to say. That's the whole point of that, you know, that's the whole point of this whole thing. And every mom just is now. It's wild. Like, these are your 2 kids. Yeah, you're a hot mom. But you know that. This is also a hot mom! Elks Lodge, home of the hot moms. Are you also a mom, woman in the flower jacket? Do you mind if I? Oh, that's your mom. Your mom's hot, dude. Hi, welcome back. Did you get bored of whatever you were watching? You don't want to talk to me either. It makes sense. The rest of this room feels the same way. Are you an important person here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See how hard that was, sir? He didn't lie to me one time. I know you're an important person here. I can see it in that jacket in your eyes. You choose which elk goes on that wall. Every year when that one has to come down, I gotta put a new one. Horns aren't big enough. Eyes are too closed. I can't wait to Google Elks Lodge. Oh, can I ask you a question, woman in the flower? Yes. Are you a teacher?
Yes.
You're a yoga instructor. How much hotter can the moms get? In Summit, New Jersey, I'm a yoga instructor. Wow. Yikes. People like that class. People go to that class, can't even bend. They're just sitting like, yep, like this. This is pretty great. You laughed. You got that? A 6-year-old got that somehow. Maybe he was over there Googling yoga videos. All right, I'll move on. Either way, I personally don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to. First of all, there's a lot of people that aren't ready to have kids, right? But they want to still test it out, so they get a dog, right? And they call it a fur baby. And I'm not trying to be rude, but if you call your dog a fur baby, do not have a skin baby, because you're not taking this seriously at all. People say that. People say they're just going to get a dog as if that you just get one and there's nothing to deal with. I have a tiny little Chihuahua, and it's absolutely horrifying, okay? I don't know if anybody's ever walked a Chihuahua. It's terrifying. It's like walking a carton of eggs. Any single thing can go wrong. I got to be on the lookout for other dogs, people, blowing leaves, everything. I don't think people pushing a stroller are ever worried that a hawk is going to come out of the sky and take their child. But I have vivid thoughts about chopping a bird out of the air. Just, not today, hawk. I just bought her that sweater. Which is not a thing I never thought I'd be doing. I never thought I'd be buying a coat for a tiny little dog. I never thought I'd be in a store like, she'd never wear green. Just pushing sweaters out of the way. But you have to.
You're ready to be a dad then.
Am I ready to be a dad?
Yeah, if you're buying sweaters for your dog, you're ready to be a dad.
I don't know if it's me being ready to be a dad or just seeing a dog shake outside. Because I think about it, I'm like, a Chihuahua's supposed to be in Mexico. I don't know who brought her here. She should be on the beach with a Corona, just having a good time. We brought her to the Northeast, just freezing, her tiny little paws. But you might be right. I kind of would like to have a kid one day, maybe like a little girl for some reason. I think because I grew up without a dad, I'm scared to have a little boy because they'll beat me up. I'm really fearful a little boy will just like, shut up, Dad. I'm like, oh, God, and I'll just hide in the corner. But a little girl will just say much worse things to me. Not her. She's too young to be, right? She hasn't said anything bad. Wow. Really? How old is she? He's 6. How old is she?
She's 4.
She's 4,
Yeah.
and she's already saying harsh things.
She'll throw daggers more than you will. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe I won't have.
Boss.
Maybe I won't have kids then. Because I'll tell you this, my Chihuahua doesn't boss me around at all. Chihuahua wants something from me, I don't want to do it. Beat it. Dog, I don't care. Dog bites me. Stop feeding him right there. Put the food right on the top of the fridge and go, what are you going to do now? Say something now, dog. Either way, I don't think I'm ready to have a kid because I'm not ready to be that selfless, you know? The second you have a kid, it's all about them, right? I'm not ready to have a kid because I'm not ready to take a kid to a movie that I don't want to see. And you're going to have to. Your kid's going to be like, I want to go to Minions. And you're supposed to go, oh, great. I am so excited about watching this movie about pills wearing jeans. This will be fun. Do you want to see it in 3D so I can hate it closer to my face? What's the worst movie you had to sit through, you think, as a dad?
Ooh. Gosh.
Is it?
I don't, yeah.
Frozen.
Which one?
Frozen.
Frozen. You hated Frozen?
Oh.
No, you're allowed to hate it. I'm not. Yeah, no, you're an important person in this town. You're allowed to hate Frozen.
I think Minions may have nailed it.
Minions,
So
right?
annoying.
The gibberish, the stupid little goggles. I know. I asked my mom that question, and she told me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the worst one.
Oh, boy, that's the best.
Not as a kid. I mean, as a kid, sure. How old are you?
I'm 44, yeah.
Yeah, so we were right in that age where it was a good time. My mom, so I remember seeing that movie and I loved it so much. I wanted my mom to feel, she can talk. Tom Petty was blaring, for God's sake. This lady can talk. I'll also say I've never performed with children right here. I'll also let you guys know that I've never been in an Elks Lodge before and I've never directly looked in the eyes of children. This is a first for a lot of us here. Oh God, that spilled everywhere. I apologize. Are we still cold? I keep forgetting about the people on TV. The angle they must have. Just the back of my dumb head yelling. Hi, thanks for coming over. What were you watching? This is also one reason I don't think I'll ever have kids. I find them very hard to talk to. They never really want to talk, you know? You're like, what's going on? They just look at you like, why are you, look at you, you big mound of garbage. I don't care. She laughed at that, so she thinks I'm a big mound of garbage. To a kid, though, I must though. Just a big 37-year-old redhead-looking dork. You guys really took that seriously, and you clapped. I thought people might laugh, but you guys were like, no, that's exactly what we see when we look forward. We see a redheaded dork just yelling things into a mic that squeaks every once in a while. I now have one audience member, and it's this child, and it's the scariest audience I've ever been in front of. I've been on television, and nothing scares me more than this little girl. Because she really checks in and out. She looks and she laughs, and then she just turns away like this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. What is it that you do? If you don't mind me asking, if is this too big of a thing to get into? What is it that you do?
She's retired.
Yeah,
As little as you retired from? What did you do?
yeah, I worked.
Okay. Am I talking to this child? Where did you work? Why do we have to do this to each other? I called you a hot lady 10 minutes ago, and now. That's actually exactly why you did that, because I called you hot, and you're like, I'm better than him now. Now you're a yoga instructor? I love this town. This place is absolutely amazing. But either way, you're retired. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I don't think I'm ready to have a kid either because I don't have money figured out. I don't know about anybody else, but I gotta figure out money, man. I got upgraded on a flight recently to first class, and that made me realize I gotta figure out money. I don't know if anybody's ever sat in first class, but that's the seat you want to be in. You know, the second I sat in that first class seat, I completely understood why rich people do not care about poor people. I understood. When I could sink into this seat, when I could stretch my leg out in front of me and hit nothing, I was like, all of these people can burn. I do not care. Even little kids that were walking through with their little Dora the Explorer bags, I'm like, move it to the back. I gotta figure out money. First class is also kind of the safest part of the plane to be in right now, right? With all the plane fights. Every single week somebody's fighting in a plane. None of those fights happen in first class. People in first class are like, should I knock somebody out or finish my salmon? And they finish their salmon. People in the back kick their Crocs off and start rocking people in the eyes. There are so many plane fights, they should start boarding planes by weight class. Forget Delta Comfort Plus. We are now boarding light middleweights. Everybody line up and start stretching. You know what time it is. You might have to correct a woman in there. There are more plane fights right now than UFC pay-per-views. And honestly, they should start marketing plane fights to us. Because they're more interesting than UFC, you know? UFC's so boring. It's like, oh, look, we got 2 trained people fighting in a cage. Plane fights, so that we got 2 untrained people fighting in a tube. Over here, we got 2 in-shape people. Over here, we got a bloated dad versus a woman on her 4th plane today. Who's going to win? I feel bad for flight attendants. Their job sucks as it is, and now they might have to fight people. Trying to become a flight attendant now must be, even just going to the interview must be insane. Like, hey, I got a lot of years of customer service. I'm good with people. They got to be like, who cares? Do you know jiu-jitsu? Because somebody in 13B is going to try to rock your head off today. We've all seen a plane fight video, right? I love the plane fight videos because for some reason, people that fight on planes are always so shocked that they're getting in trouble. They didn't think this was going to happen. They thought they were going to punch somebody and sit down. They thought it was over. Every one of those videos, they knock somebody out and air marshals show up and they're standing there like, air marshals? For what? Well, because I uppercut someone that works here? Show me on my ticket where it says I can't do that. I don't know. I don't know what the punishment is for fighting on a plane. Oh, are you coming this way? You gotta go this way. Oh, is she okay?
She's good.
Okay.
She's having a blast.
You don't have to lie to my face. I can see your eyes. This isn't Splash Mountain. She must be bored out of her mind. Is it past her bedtime? What time's her bedtime? 8? So what happened? Why didn't you guys take her to bed?
You.
Oh, me?
Your fault.
God. Hey, Apple, when you wake up tomorrow and you're angry, I apologize. Your Sunday's ruined. What was I saying? Oh, airlines. When you guys break it down like that, it sounds so stupid, but I don't know what happens to you when you fight on a plane. The highest level of punishment is is it past your bedtime too? I can get out of here. I just saw 2 other people yawn. I'm like, what? Are you also 4? He like that. There's a. I'm kidding. You do whatever you want. At the I almost yawned a second ago. Okay, I don't know what the punishment is for fighting on a plane. I know the highest level of punishment is the no-fly list, right? That's the highest level of punishment. I think it's funny that there is a no-fly list just because there's not a no-bus list. There's nothing you can do to be banned from Greyhound. Nothing at all. Every single time somebody gets banned every single time somebody ends up on the no-fly list, Greyhound's like, oh, another customer, and just wheels them down. But I am trying to figure out money because it's on us to figure. Oh, also, first of all, there's a lot of fights on planes. I don't think it should be happening, but airlines are just testing us at this point in time, right? They're really trying to see how much we will deal with. Every single flight is $1,000, all of them, and they also cancel thousands of flights every single week. Every week, you might be on the way to the airport. You get a text. They go, "Don't even bother a minute." There's stories of people on the plane waiting to go, and they get told they're not leaving. They're sitting on a plane waiting to leave. Somebody comes over the loudspeaker and goes, "This one's canceled." How? I'm in this one. How is this canceled? I'm buckled in. I'm halfway through this movie. Go! They're going to start canceling flights mid-flight. Remember we told you guys we're going to Vegas? Canceled. Utah, right here. Idaho. It's on us to learn about money, right? I feel. Nobody teaches us about, oh, you think I was going to drop it? I don't even know why I walked over to somehow put this down. It's on us to learn about money, right? Except from this lady who I believe works at a bank. Well, did I guess kind of right? No. She's not a yoga instructor. We'll stick with it if we want to, but this lady owns a boat somewhere.
Right. You're on the right track.
Thank you. Something to do with
Yeah.
something. Anyways, I'll move on. That tone was like, absolutely, please move on.
I do laundry.
I'm okay. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, first of all, whatever. I also don't know if I'm gonna have kids because like it's very expensive to have kids, right? Am I crazy?
Yes. Not at all.
A friend of mine literally told me that recently, though. He goes, "It's not expensive at all." I go, "What's wrong? What are you feeding your kid beer? What's wrong with you?" It's got to be expensive. It seems so expensive, like go on vacation and stuff, right? Like Disney World. People get so mad down there too. People fight in Disney World, which is wild, and it makes sense, right? Because people go down to Disney World, right, and they spend $600 a night to stay at a hotel. $600 a night, and then they get up in the morning and they leave that room. Is that not crazy to anybody else? If I ever go on a vacation and the hotel room is $600 a night, that room is the vacation. I'm not leaving that room. I'm going to do everything you can in there. I'm going to use all the soap, all the towels. I'm going to open and close the blinds for an hour. I will finally read the Bible. I will get to it. I will crack it right there. I'm trying to figure out money, and Elon Musk, very rich man, obviously, he says that, he tells us that we're going to Mars, right? He says that we're going to Mars. And he says that like we're going to Mars. There is nobody in this room that's going to Mars, okay? Nobody you know is going to Mars. You can walk down the street all night and be like, not going to Mars, not going to Mars. It's going to be a real short list of people going to Mars. It's going to be Elon Musk and Richard Branson just holding each other the entire way there, you know? But he says it enough to hear regular human beings, regular people that have been inside of a Bed Bath & Beyond, regular humans that buy their own towels. They'll be like, oh man, maybe one day we'll go to Mars. It's like, you haven't been to Jamaica. You're talking about going to Mars? If you haven't had a beef patty in the grill, why do you think you're leaving the atmosphere? Jamaica's going to be, Mars is going to be so expensive. Do you know how long the trip to Mars is supposed to be? Does anybody know? The trip to Mars is supposed to be 300 days. And that's just to get there. 300 days, and then you get out and party in the red dust or whatever. There's nothing there. There's no Sandals Mars. There's nothing there. 300 days, and who has that kind of vacation time other than the retired yoga instructor? Who has that kind of vacation time? Can anybody go to their manager and be like, look, man, I'm thinking about taking a trip. What do you need, 2 weeks? 2 years? Also, does anybody know how much, think about how expensive the trip to Mars is going to be? Does anybody think about how much the baggage fees alone to Mars are going to be? People don't want to pay them to go to Cleveland. People are like, screw it, I'll wear all my pants and get on a flight sitting 2 inches higher than everybody. Nobody's going. But Elon Musk did say that the trip to Mars at first is going to be very expensive. Then one day it's going to be affordable. And you're like, for who? You know, they haven't made Disney World affordable, you know? That's why you see families go down there with babies. Not kids, babies. Eyes shut, balls of mush, babies, because it's free. And then one day this kid grows up and says, why haven't I been to Disney World? And their parents were like, you did go. You were 2 hours old and you loved it. Elks Lodge. Summit, New Jersey. Children. I feel we did it. I really want to thank you guys for letting me do this. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Keep that noise going for Nathan McIntosh, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it. What a show. What a show. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out and supporting the Susan Engel Foundation. We appreciate it. Give the Schmidt family a little round of applause here for keeping this thing going. And even though they're bifurcated, they're going to do their own thing. We're going to come back here to the Elks Lodge where it all started, I hope. We'll keep this going. So we'll see you guys next time. And thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.